Hello, everybody. Welcome to One Up Podcast. How y'all doing out there? Well, lots of things to talk about today. Lots of hot, juicy topics to talk about today. Give me 30 seconds while I pull up my notes and the stream. Let's take care of shop first, right? So, let's do introduction first. Hello, I'm Milky Does. I am your host tonight. And my name is right there. Should be right there. Yeah. So that's me, and then we'll go clockwise. So Marcus next.
Oh right. I forgot. There's like a weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. My clockwise.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am Marcus, also known as King Blades of 80. I am a variety streamer. That's it.
I'm Sneaky Zombie. I'm also a variety streamer. I don't know what else to say.
just say hello. Basically pretend like no one's ever seen you before.
Okay, then that's that.
Hi everybody. I'm Researcher Ryan. I'm a Pokemon and variety streamer on Twitch. That's my handle down below.
Yeah, well, I think we're followed. You'll find us. It's fine. We're everywhere. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take care of shop first. So yesterday we had our community night, and that was a really great fun time. Thank you to everyone who came out. G. Steve, Jess, Lexi, Nordisk and his buds. You all made it great. It was a really fun time. We had 2 videos go out this week for the YouTube. We had the
3 technically.
We had 3? Or we had 2?
Podcast.
Oh, sure. Sure.
And then
yeah, but we started the YouTube series. That's gonna keep coming out.
Yeah.
It's gonna come out on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then the weekends we're gonna have this kind of content. So that's what's going on with that. So I hope we can get Glitch Wizard down below to like play the game without glitching everywhere. We love talking about milk in that series, so I'm sure there'll be more milk soon.
Maybe. There's like a 2% chance that we'll talk about milk again.
There might be a 3% chance.
Maybe a whole percent chance.
Yeah, I agree.
That community night was something else.
Yo, community night was so good. It was so much fun.
And we have the newest shop, the newest something. We have King of Blades, Marcus, has joined us as a junior conductor. So you'll see his name in yellow on the Discord, and he, we're excited to have him on. We're excited to see, where he goes, how we can help, how he can help us, how we all can kind of learn from each other.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Yeah. So, that's shop. That's all the tea, I think. I'm not sure if there's anything else I've missed for shop work. You got to talk about One Up related.
I think that's pretty much it. We had the podcast go up. Other than that, applications are still open for junior conductor positions. We're still looking for people, no matter what. Just because we have Marcus now doesn't mean we can't still have more people, more friends. You know.
Yes, please apply because I want to be here by myself.
It's
really weird being the only yellow one.
I'm the only yellow one. Help.
And if you are looking to become a junior conductor, the only really prerequisite is that you've already kind of established yourself on Twitch, and that you're a part of the Discord, obviously, and just really start hanging out in the community a lot. And a big plus will be that if you come to the community nights, if you can come to the community nights.
Yeah. If you can really make it to the community nights. No, we're just bagging on Marcus a little bit. Marcus messaged me last night like, "Hey, when's the community night?" And I'm like, "Hey, but we just wrapped it up." And he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Nah, you're good. You're good."
Yeah. Yesterday was like a really busy day. I was
Yeah,
helping my
yeah,
friend move. Plus, like I missed out on like a time thing for stream. Like I set it towards like earlier in the day, but like I didn't end up like in my stream until like I think it was like 8:30 or something like that, like CST.
Yeah. No, that's just me. I like to beg on people. So if at any point it's too much, let me know, and I'll
But yeah,
keep doing
that's
it.
my reason.
But anyway, I think it's time to go into a topic. Yeah, let's
let's do some topics.
do we want to talk about trolls or do we want to talk about Twitch? I mean, they're both kind of the same. Do we want to talk about viewer count or do we want to talk about trolls first? What's our general?
I'm good either way.
I honestly either. Yeah. I got
I
a
can
coin.
talk
Should I flip it?
extensively about either.
Yeah. See,
Or-
flip our
yeah.
magic coin.
Okay. Got a magic coin. I need you guys to call heads or tails. Let's hope I can catch this.
Q, make the call as host.
Heads on trolls.
Heads.
It's tails.
Okay, so we're talking about the viewer count
Okay.
first.
Okay.
Yo, Twitch, listen up. What is going on with your viewer count? At least, so here's the general idea, right? So if anyone's not aware, viewer count used to work where if you had the tab open and any audio was playing from that tab, it would count as a view. Through some research and slight validation through other parties, we've come to realize that Twitch now doesn't count your view unless the tab is physically open.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, before, right, you could have a tab open and then switch to another tab and it would count your view. But now we're thinking, and we kind of have some validation on this through just experimentation.
Yeah, it's theory right now.
That if you switch off of that tab and that tab is not actively showing on your screen, it won't count.
Really?
Yeah! And it's like, because
It's a little sus.
it's a little sus.
I always thought you could. You just had to have the tab muted and not the stream.
Correct. That is exactly how it worked. But recently, we've been noticing, me and Ryan and some of our other fellow like constant Twitch people who like are constantly on streams have noticed that viewer counts have been really low, like surprisingly low. And it's like, wow, Twitch is like broken. And it's like, it's been broken too long for it to be broken. So what is going on?
Yeah.
So basically, like, it's just like for some reason, and that's our theory on it. And we're like, what would be like a good reason behind that, right? So like I don't know, like, because like most people come to Twitch to listen to the person talk, like especially like, let me rephrase that. So a lot of people come to Twitch to listen to just chatting streams, and don't necessarily need to see the viewer to listen to them chat. Right. They'll come up, maybe they'll pop it up to type a message in or something and then close it and go back to doing whatever they're doing. I know a lot of people put Twitch on for background noise. And like, how is like making it that the Twitch has to be actively being viewed? One, help Twitch at all make money, right? Because it was like, at the end of the day, right, it has to tie back to like making money and loyalty. So like, how does it help Twitch either make money or make them more loyal by having to have the tab open? And then also like just like, but like, why change a method that was at least somewhat working?
Yeah.
To like have this new method that's just real bad for both parties, right? Because like, okay, I'm gonna stop talking. I'll continue my rant later. Let's hear from other people so that I'm not like eating air.
Okay, well, I kind of have a theory. Just I don't know that this would hold any water though. So, but honestly, I feel like it comes down to advertisers, and if you don't have people looking at the advertisements, then what are you doing? What are you spending your money on with Twitch to advertise, essentially? And I feel like then they also would probably be thinking, well, how do we know that people just don't have a bunch of different tabs open of, these streams artificially, because they're not engaged, they just have it open just to inflate the numbers. So somebody could have 20 viewers, but all of them are tabbed out. Should that really reflect on the person? Which, I mean, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it, to be honest. But that's my presumption as to why that would be the case. I feel like it still hurts though, because it doesn't take into account lurkers, really.
Right.
That's really
So-
what it does, right? It like punishes lurking
Exactly.
in a sense. Because there are people, even people in our chat right now, who are the kind of people that watch multiple streams and lurk in multiple streams. They'll have like 17 different tabs open of streamers that they're watching.
Oh,
And they can't, it really hurts each of those streamers now, because now it's actually one less viewer. And I've noticed that it's kind of been wonky anyway, because there would be times that I would be watching one stream and LQ or another friend of mine would be like, hey, who's this person? And it's not the person I'm actively watching. Like, it's someone who I was watching maybe like 3 hours ago, or I haven't been in their chat in a long time. So realistically, I don't know how Twitch is actually determining that you're a viewer on their stream, because what'll happen too is we'll see that you're in the viewer page still. Like that, and this kind of came up because I started pointing it out a little bit, because I started noticing some weird things where on my stream and then on like a couple of other people's streams, the number wouldn't just be low, but it would like weirdly fluctuate, like between like an average of like 9 and 15, like constantly, and maybe even dipping to 7. But it was like not even like within like an hour; it was within like minutes. And that's very strange. If they're constantly counting, if they're counting your tab as a lurk, right? Even if you're not on the active tab. So I started noticing that, and on top of that, like you would see the viewer page, like if you look on there, like click on the little people icon, you could see like users in chat. Your name would still be on there. There'd be like 8 people on the list, but it would only show 3 viewers like in the actual like view count number. And it was very confusing. So I don't know if that's still like that, if they've since come out and fixed that problem. Because it seems like Jess has said something like along the lines that it's not working the same way anymore. But that was definitely an issue. That's like, if this is still an ongoing problem, like this isn't good for the culture that is Twitch right now anyway. Because Twitch thrives off its lurkers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And to even like kind of further solidify Ryan's point about like weird numbering, I've had like 5 or 6 people chatting actively at the same time in my chat before, and Twitch has been like, hey, you have 3 viewers.
Yeah. Like what?
What? Obviously I have 6. Like I can see 6 people chatting. But no, that only 3. And I know like the whole rule about like, well, you know, technically it takes Twitch up to 5 minutes to update your view count and all this other stuff. Fine. But if it's the same way after 10 minutes, then something's hanky. And obviously, like, I waited more than 5 minutes to be like, why isn't my thing? Like, no. But yeah, just like, what is going on? Like, I obviously have those viewers. And I understand that Twitch updates their viewer count every 5 minutes, right? But that's also really weird for Ryan for him to fluctuate down to 9 and then up to 15 and 9 and 15 every 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's just a very strange like conundrum, because I would expect to see something like that every couple like hour, 20 minutes, maybe half hour, but to see it within like a 10-minute range, like frequently, like going back and up and down like that's very odd, and there's something definitely very very suspicious, like, and it doesn't vibe well with me in that.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that too. Like, I mean, I noticed it like a lot less, if only just because like I need to wean myself off of Streamlabs, just because like it doesn't like take into account like your viewership like in real time, because that's what Stream Manager is for, which I still need to do. But I noticed that weird thing too, where like all of a sudden I'll see like 15 viewers like 1 minute, and then just like down to like 9 or 5 the next.
Yeah. And what Ryan was talking about before too is like you can get a viewer list, right? Well, obviously, like Twitch has come out before and said your viewer list is not the same thing as your active chatters, and it's not the same thing as your current numbers, right? And that's fine. But to say that, like, I guess technically then it's fine. Like you can't really compare them, but like there is like some correlation, even if it's not 1-to-1. But like if I have like 25 people, like I'm talking about huge numbers now. I'm not talking about any real numbers that I have. Say like I had 100 people in my viewer list, and I still only had like 15 like views. I'd be like, what the fuck's going on? Like that's not right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like think about it in a grander scale, right? To a partner level or to like a right.
Yeah.
There's
If there's like 500 people in your user chat, but then it only shows that you have like 100 like in viewers, like there's something going on there.
Yeah. But yeah, I just don't know. I just want to try and get it out there. You know, let's start having conversations. If it's happening to other people, you know, let's start letting Twitch know we're not happy about it. That's really what this is.
Yeah.
You know?
We gotta let if it is a thing, and if more people are seeing it happen, because I would love to see like more people start to speak out about it if they're noticing it as well. Some people might not be paying attention, but I guess it'd be something to keep an eye out for those who are here and are aware of it, and whoever hear this podcast later. That if it continues to happen, we do have to start saying something that we noticed it, because if they're doing it in the background, it's really shady. If they're doing it in the background and not saying anything, that's really shady.
So Twitch has never explicitly told us how view counts work. We figured it out through trial and error.
Yeah.
Right? Like that whole lurking thing about muting the tab and not the stream was not a thing that Twitch told us about. That is a thing that we discovered through time and experimentation. So like they've always been kind of shady about how viewer count works. Excuse me, I don't actually have water. I'm gonna get up in a second to get some water. But yeah, like if they're changing it again after so long, and they're changing it dramatically like that, right? Like that's dramatic, right? Not having the stream muted and not counting a view makes sense, right? You can't, if you're not looking at the view and if you're not looking at the stream and you're not listening to the stream, then you are not watching a stream. You just have it up.
Right.
But like if you have the stream at some volume level, you know, you're probably lurking, right? Like if it's at like 2%, you know, maybe someone's really loud and can't figure out how to audio balance, and they're just like blowing your eardrums out. And you're like, oh, I gotta lower the stream, right? Which is more preferable to me than someone who is super quiet and I can't raise their stream. Side note, my brain just does that.
True.
But like
that's like the biggest thing for me is the audio balance. If like if the music's too loud and I can't get the streamer to like turn it down a little, I'm like, okay, bye. Like I can't if I can't hear you talk and I'm hearing this, you know, just this loud music, I'm just like, yeah, I can't, sorry.
Yeah, if I can't hear, if the streamer is way too much louder than whatever background noise they have going on, even if it's like talking, right? Like if we weren't balanced right, and like Ryan was a lot louder than I was, or I was a lot louder than you guys, I would hope Twitch would tell, like the chatters would tell us so I could fix it. But also like I'd be like, oh, maybe we gotta fix that. You know, a little different is fine, but like if I was like booming over you, that's not okay.
Yeah.
But the same idea, yeah. Any final thoughts on it before we maybe move on?
I guess the only thing I would say is I just mentioned that one of the big tips is to hide your view count for small streamers. Small streamers shouldn't be looking at their view count. And I could say that that really did work for me in the past because it actually it took my focus off of the number and checking the number every 5 minutes. And instead I could check the number after the stream, because sometimes I found that if I'm checking the number in the middle of a stream and I'm noticing that it's a low number or a number I'm not happy with, then it can really affect how I'm interacting. And if I'm just blissfully unaware of it, it can kind of help just like pretend that you just pretend that everybody's here still, you know, and that, you know, it's all. But yeah, it's definitely like a mix because you don't want to like be unaware of it.
When
I know for me. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You go. You go.
No, yeah. When in doubt, like always keep like the VOD in mind, because those also like take into account, because I've come to realize that like not only do like people watch like the live streams, but like a surprising number of people like actually watch the VODs I upload. So I always have to keep that in mind whenever I'm thinking of like viewer count like that.
True.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I on the opposite side of that, I've personally kept viewer count up just in case, like randomly, like if it's an active chat, but then randomly it just kind of stops. Because there have been times where Twitch chat has broken for me, like midstream. Not recently, but like if I see that there are people still there, like, and it was really, really like active, and then all of a sudden it stops, I'll have to like make sure I refresh just in case, like if I see anything.
Yeah.
Just because I want to make sure that like if people, because I get my big stream thing is like I read the chat, like everybody reads the chat, right, and we respond and react to chat, and if people get upset if you don't necessarily read their chat, like especially if they're in the middle of like a story or you're in the middle of like a conversation or like a banter like with your audience. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like to keep my view count up in general. I do typically use the stream manager's view count because it's tied into my OBS, which is really cool. Technically side, right? It's really cool. But I don't leave up my viewer list anymore because I used to have my viewer list up. And then I started noticing like I was disappointed that certain people weren't there. And I went, I've got to stop doing that because obviously those people have lives. And obviously I'm like mentally now like just searching for those people. So I've like cut doing that out. That's something I cut doing out like months ago. Like not even like recently. But I like leaving my viewer count up just so I can get a feel for like maybe I am like doing something wrong, maybe something's going on. Am I fluctuating in like weird numbers? But I like I don't know. I like having that. I like having statistics in my face. I guess that's a good way to put that.
True.
Yeah.
So like
I feel like I'm pretty hyped and energized myself, even at low numbers. And then when I see it get to high numbers, I'm genuinely very much more excited. So that's always something fun for me.
Yeah, I guess also having a low number doesn't affect my stream the same way as like low energy does, right? Like I'll have low energy days where like I have messed up in the morning and now I'm like, well, I've got to stream, and it's like that's wrong, right? That's like a wrong way to put it to do it.
True.
But like I don't get low energy from low numbers. At least I don't think I do. I probably could be wrong. You know, I'm wrong about a lot of things. So, but yeah, all right. You guys entertain chapters like while I go grab a water because I'm dying.
Apparently, Tank has said that after a quick Google search, they found that there are others who are starting to notice things like this happen in the past year or two. So it's not just us noticing.
Yeah, I'm glad that's the case.
Yeah, and I hope it's something that's definitely more gets brought up more in a bigger concern, because it'll start to affect like larger streamers too. Like it may be not to the higher degree, but a larger streamer like who relies on like ad revenue to some degree in their things, because you will get paid ad revenue when you're partner if you're special. I believe so anyway.
You get it as a affiliate too.
Do you really? I never noticed.
Yeah, you can run like ads if
even if you don't. They run a pre-roll on non-subscribers, so even passively you're going to earn ad revenue.
Yeah.
But I heard that it doesn't really, you don't get as much from it.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
And it's definitely because we're smaller, right? Like I guess it depends on your viewer count too. Like it's a certain percentage, but as you have a larger audience and a larger people who are not subscribed to your channel, that percentage just gets, I mean, that number and percentage becomes larger. So to have those views just not count on a grander scale is a lot more detrimental, because that's livelihood. Like people are like living, and this is their career that they're doing, if anything for a short while, but still, it doesn't help. Like, it doesn't help anybody. And that's where it's confusing.
Yeah, I wonder if it like has anything to do with like Twitch accepting people into their affiliate/partner program. Because maybe they're. What I'm thinking is that maybe cracking down on like the bot accounts that people will pay for to like boost the viewer average up. So
That's interesting.
yeah. So I'm guessing like they're taking to. I'm guessing what they're doing is that they're looking for like anyone and anything that's probably lurking and just classifying that as like a bot if they don't have that tab specifically like active.
Because
yeah, that might be a thing if they have it for multiple streams like that.
If the ad payout of a streamer is based on how many people view the ad, then as a company, you're going to want to make sure that you're getting every view, not just some bots and, or somebody with the tab open. And how do you tell the difference between somebody who's engaged but, tabbed out into another program and a bot? You can probably do it, but it's probably a pain in the ass to get it right.
Depending on the type of bot, you really can't, because there like a lot of bots will just be a computer that just opens up every internet tab on Twitch.
I remember there was one I saw like in my chat for like a while. I forgot what the name of it was, but I remember seeing it come up like every so often.
There's Command Root. He comes up a lot.
Yeah, Command Root's like there all the time.
Oh, that's the one that always sticks out to me. Command Root sticks out to me all the time.
Oh, like electric skateboard or something like that?
Yeah, there's something like that too.
I bet if you opened up a bot right now, like your like chat bot, and like just looked, you would see like 3 names that are probably still in there. That are just view bots.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. I don't know. I just know that people are noticing it. It's a problem, and Twitch needs to talk about it. And Twitch as the company needs to talk about it, and they won't talk about it unless we talk about it. So, fill the internet, people. Go talk tremendously about this topic.
If we've learned anything this year, we know that Reddit controls the world.
Yeah,
Reddit blow up.
Reddit controls everything.
It really
does. It's true.
Hashtag GameStop to the moon.
To the moon.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's move into the next topic. Thank you for letting me go get water. I appreciate it. Internet trolls. The trolls that come into our Twitch chat. Why does Twitch chat like to attack us? Let's talk about how we handle trolls and deal with them. What are our practices and our ways of going about when we have somebody in our chat who's just not the right flavor of chatter for our stream. Whoever wants to start, not me.
Well, I definitely haven't had like this issue like happen recently, but I remember like in my early days, like, oh man, I'm not sure if like these are like bot accounts or not, but I specifically remember hosting like a giveaway. It was like back in October, and I did a mistake of like publicly like advertising it on Twitter, I think Instagram too, and just having my chat flooded with like these like fake follows and these fake like giveaway entries. And yeah, big mistake number one. I publicly like advertised it, and yeah, more or less, don't try and do that. If like you had to post a giveaway, I would recommend doing it through like a Discord server, especially one where you have to like verify that you're going to be like active in it or not. Like for example, my Discord server, you have to like hit react to clarify that you've read the rules, and just write a little something about yourself, and then me or one of my mods will grant you the role that will allow you like access to like the full server, including the giveaway channel. So that's why I'm doing this now. But otherwise, like, I remember specifically in my Last of Us stream, someone mentioned something about what's her name? Ellie's character.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think Ellie's right.
Yeah. And let's just say it was in a sexual nature, and I just up and blocked them from my chat. I was just like, yeah, I'm not having it.
Mhm.
That's like the only time I recall something like that happening recently. But like, if you just come into the chat, this is like a new chatter, by the way. This is like a new viewer and all that. If you just specifically come into chat with the mindset that you're going to make these remarks,
Mhm.
like, yeah, like that's no. Like, I understand if you were like a viewer that just were like if you were like a viewer that was like there for I don't know, like however long. I understand if like you crossed like the line in making that joke. Like if like let's say that like this one person followed me for like let's say 2 months or 3 months, and like they were like a regular viewer, and they just happened to cross the line in that one particular moment. I would understand. That's just a slap on the wrist. That's a timeout for 600 seconds, and then like a private DM and all that stuff. But if you're just like a new viewer that just comes into chat, just straight up like that, right out the bat, just Brent Favre, just going full force into like uncharted, dangerous, unwarranted territory. I'm not having it.
Mhm.
Yep. This is kind of advice I give to like a lot of like small, like starting streamers. Because a lot of people in general will fall into like this little mind trap that, hey, a person is a view, and they'll try to like tolerate a troll for like a little bit. And as much as yes, you're right, a view is a view, and it does help. You are the person who sets what the tone is for your stream, and if you let somebody in your chat get away with trolling you aggressively and harmfully, in a way that like feels very toxic to you, then that just opens the floodgates for people who are already there and newcomers to come into the chat and also be just as equally trolly, if not worse. So as the streamer, you are responsible for setting a boundary for yourself and for the community standard. So if someone comes into your chat and you are not, and they're either with an inappropriate username or like, hey, can you give a shout out to my friend like this name, and it's clearly something like racist that they're trying to bait you to say because the internet thinks it's clever when it's not, because usually like that trick has been played on like 10 people before, and it's like, come on, what are you, like, I know you're actually 10, like, stop. Not funny.
True.
But yeah, it's a boundary that the streamers have to set and say, no, this is not going to be tolerated. And normally if somebody's being a troll, I'll like, at first, depending on how severe it is, my personal take is I'll troll them back, and if they're continuing to be an asshole, I give them a timeout, and or I have my mods will time them out. Which, if you have great mods like right away, like awesome, like it's the best. And if you're not as fortunate, it's easy to do it yourself. And then if they continue after their timeout, if they're like, why to get timed out, and they just continue to be an asshole, just ban them.
Yeah.
And if you have a Discord, this is where it's good to have like a couple step verification for Discord. Because there have been times, and I've seen it happen, where a troll will be angry that they got banned, and they'll get their army of troll friends, their tribe, if you will, of trolls, to flood the Discord and start posting really racist, really homophobic, really sexually derogatory, like anything under the sun that'll get under your skin. They'll flood your Discord. So having something like Me6 verifications, or like you have to read the guidelines and do all this extra stuff, is another way to kind of deter trolls from further damaging your community
Yeah.
in that sense. So that's kind of what I do in that regard.
Yeah, the kind of streamer that you describe right there. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Wings of Redemption.
No.
Kind of rings a bell, but I don't know.
No.
Yeah, shortened to a point, he is a streamer that started on YouTube like way back when, and the dude just basically like has no filter. Like he just attacks. He's like one of those people that just will like not like hesitate to like fire back at the trolls like relentlessly. And it comes to a point where like his viewers are either there to like send, you know, donations with like, you know, hateful messages, and like he'll just allow this stuff to keep happening just because it's still donations.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just a little side note. Like there's like a whole documentary on Wings of Redemptions if anyone wants to look it up. It's basically what not to do as like a streamer / content creator.
I know personally whenever I get so in the chat where someone mentioned there's the difference between lighthearted friendships and like trolling to be a troll. I think that's basically what it said. Yeah, just showing being annoying to being a really terrible person. I know personally I have a friend troll who for the betterment of myself I still am totally okay with. But like there are times when I even have to put like that person in their place and be like, look, this is not the right place for this type of trolling. Like I know like we're friendly about it, but like not here, not now, you know. But as far as like regular trolls go, like not trolls that you have friends with, trolls you're friends with, typically that type of trolling happens after you already become friends and then they're just trying to bag on you. No, Cheesy Steve, I don't. Sorry, I'm just reading chat and answering it. You know, it's that streamer in me. But typically regular trolls, right? I'll give them a warning. I'll say like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" Don't say that kind of things. And then like typically they won't listen because that's how trolls are, and then they'll say something else.
Yep.
And then it's not even like a timeout. It's just an immediate ban. It's like I don't want to have to deal with you. Don't come into someone's chat and, you know, start trying to make like stupid jokes and like you're typing like every one of your sentences out a word at a time, or you're just spamming emotes is okay, I guess, because like obviously that doesn't hurt anybody, but just like, you know, like the you know, like whatever to try and like push your chat away. It's like don't be a weirdo. Like just cut it out.
Yep.
But yeah, I typically just like I don't want to deal with them, so I'll typically just like push them away. Unlike spam callers, where like sometimes when your spam caller calls you, you like decide to fight back. No, trolls, I just throw them off the bridge.
Yeah, I want to start doing more timeouts to give people a chance to change their behavior. But oftentimes, the types of trolls that I end up banning, it's just out. It's just not worth, you know, it's tiring. So I just kind of go like, listen, if you're just gonna come in here and the first thing you say is something mean or whatever, like maybe I'll try like it sometimes there's things that are just mean and just outright, you know, and you're just like, okay, get out of here, you know. But then there's things where you're just like, there's obviously somebody who's trying to get under my skin, but they're not saying anything outright. So I'm just going to like not really respond to it and see if they keep it up. And if they keep it up, okay. And then if not, then okay, great, or whatever. And then just let them know, just be like, listen, I need you to stop this. And then they'll stop or they won't. And then it's like, okay, ban. But yeah, it's hard. I don't know. Trolls are difficult.
Yeah. I use the Twitch's integrated system for appeals of bans. Just because, like, you know, maybe I did just, like, read it wrong and I banned you and you want to explain yourself. I've never actually had to use it. Like, I've never had to unban somebody after their appeal. Or really, I've never really gotten an appeal. typically, because a lot of the people I ban are, you want to become famous? Follow this link.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
The
And it's like,
ultimate troll.
The ultimate troll, because all they want you to do is click on a link. No, yeah, there's just, and there's like weirdness behind it too, and this is something that, right, so like, typically, guys on Twitch, people who are perceived as male, let's say it that way, people who are perceived as male on Twitch don't get as many, like trolls that are, like, trying to, like, hit on you.
Yeah.
And, like, in general, like, I think we also typically get less trolls because, like, we're not eye candy to a lot of people.
Depends on the type of stream you're doing, but
and it depends on who's streaming because eye candy right below me.
No.
110% you are eye candy. Do not. We can spend the next hour of this podcast talking about why you are eye candy. Do you want to go?
I don't want to talk about this.
Okay, so
that chiseled jaw.
That chiseled jaw. It's the scruff. It's the curls. It's the clean look. It's the frames. Anyway,
the dazzling smile.
No, he's now messing up all of this.
Get back in here.
You're so bright.
I'm idiot.
Do you want to? I was gonna say.
I'll fix that. Don't mind me.
You're blinding our audience. But I do
You're
think
adding lighting to my room. You're too bright.
Yeah. But I will say, I typically do think that people who are perceived as female on Twitch get a lot more of those, like, annoying, aggravating trolls that are also just trying to, like, call you baby and call you, like, honey and like trying to, like, flirt with you, but, like, also not actually flirt with you.
You look stunning.
Yeah. Oh, you're so beautiful.
You have the voice of an angel. It's
yeah.
Okay. It's like, wow, thanks for the compliment, but also, like, it's a little weird. Like, it's weird to say, hey, it's super weird when you compliment somebody, but it's like, you just don't see that ever elsewhere, Like, you see, like, when people being like, oh man, you really, scuffed that shot, and you really messed that up there. It's like, it's usually what you're doing, but then when it's all like, hey baby, you should really do this, and you're just like,
oh hey there, mama.
Like, this is very strange,
Do you want to show me them pretty lights? Like, like, just like
weird,
weirdness.
There's like a really weird dynamic where I feel like people are like, there are some people who are perceived as male, or people just in general, I guess, out in the world who will perceive, like, Twitch as, like, a potential for a gold show. For our 18 and up audience members who know what that is, or maybe younger, because I did that shit when I was like 15 too. So I look.
God, right.
But like I feel like there are a lot of people who are out there that are like, hey, like, if I pay them enough money, and that's the other one that can be very dangerous. That's like, if I pay them enough money, so they'll, like, donate a ton of bits. And there are people who do that a lot, but they're all. And then my favorite response is seeing, like, streamers like usually it's the gamer girl streamers or the e-girl streamers, like, I'll see, like, in their bio or, like, in their rules it's like, no, I will not date you, and I'm like, yes, let's go.
Just like, I have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Put that foot down now.
Yeah.
That's
not
true.
Chat in my chat if you're here to try and
don't try and butter me up. Like,
it's also like
don't try. It's like, it's really like, there's no purpose to it. I don't know you, and like, I'm here. Like, it's a very weird line because ultimately, I don't have a face to these names. I don't have a voice.
Right.
They're not gonna come into voice chat and say that. You know what I mean? Like, meaningfully. Like, so it's just like this weird, anonymous sort of.
It's not the 1700s anymore, where you can receive a mysterious letter from an anonymous admirer, and it's like, oh, it's such beautiful poetry. Like, oh, I've never seen this person before, but I do have the paper. I must find out who this is. Like, that's not gonna happen. It's not real. Like, that's not. We're not in that time anymore. Like, a text message or a letter in a chat that says, you are the most beautiful creature I've ever seen. First off, is semi-insulting, and also, like, that's the first thing you perceive about me. Like, that's not what I'm here for, dude.
True. True.
Yeah, it's trolls, man.
sad.
They're just the worst. And
There's so many kinds too. Like
yeah,
they're all
Yeah,
there's such a weird variety of trolls.
so many flavors.
yeah.
Flavors.
I also don't understand why certain people will think that it is like funny to be trolls right out the gate, because it's not. There's not a single person who's ever like that. The first thing they do is like a really offensive troll,
Yeah, okay,
and anybody in that chat thinks it's funny.
right.
Like the only
right out of
person
the
who
gate,
gets
people
anything
know.
out of that is that initial probably person. But even then, that's going to be something like 5 years from that point. They're going to be like, "Why did I say that?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's just losers looking for validation.
It's
Yeah.
really bad attention seeking. It's like that's not the way to go, my guy.
They want to be streamers, but they haven't brought themselves to do it, so they're gonna go and make all the other smaller streamers feel bad.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you want to come in here and stream, why don't you stream and do that?
Yeah, right? Like obviously you're like I don't know why would somebody spend their time doing that? That's the only reason I can think of is they
Mhm.
secretly want to be a streamer too. They just don't have the guts.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you stream, watch me come in your chat and tell you spell ICOP. See you smirking then. I'll really show.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Spell
not
pig
fun.
backwards and say funny colors. Anyway, but yeah, I think I don't even know what else to really say about trolls, man. They're just we just ban them, you know. Just anytime there's a troll, just
Get rid of them.
yeet.
Get rid of them. Treat them like you're playing Valheim and just like whack them with the band sword and just go.
Yeah. And then also, I know we touched on a little bit, like talking about the Discord stuff, right? I find that like if a Discord doesn't have some type of verification process, I just don't know if I really want to be in it because I don't know what I'm gonna get when I go in there, right? And like,
Yeah, that's
you
true.
you didn't check. But like I know a lot of streamers who have Discord servers that have like 2 steps. Like you have to read the rules and then you have to go pick a role. And the number of times they get people who say their Discord is broken because they agree to the rules and they're not in, it's like, cool, then you didn't read the rules because it says in the section the next step is to
Pick
go
a
to
role.
roles and pick a role.
Yep.
So like
It's like those. Did you guys ever get the paper in school where they were saying like, do this test? Like we have to read all of the instructions, and like people would do the instructions, and it would be things like clap 5 times or bark like a dog or whatever. And then at the very end, it says, don't do anything, just write your name down and turn the paper in. And it's you knew who actually read it and who didn't, and it was kind of funny.
And that trick only works once in school.
It does. Yeah, it's true.
But yeah,
Because the second time you're like, nope, you're not gonna get me twice.
Oh, I remember this one.
That caused a lot of psychological trauma. That caused me to have a lot of social anxiety. So I can't handle this anymore.
That's true. That's true. Because it is really embarrassing when you realize you were one of the people who didn't. It's like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
It's
like,
so scary.
Fuck.
Oh jeez, everyone starts laughing and you're just like,
is
wait.
nobody else clapping? Like you're the only one who fell for it, and you're like,
Yeah. Like when you were playing Simon Says, and they were like in gym, and they'd be like, Simon Says touch your shoulders, Simon Says touch your nose, touch your shoulders, and everybody would touch their shoulders, or you'd be like the one person that gets out. It's like that same
Did
concept.
say Simon Says.
It's like I just
to be a child again. Let's all take a moment and reminisce up to the skies about to be a child again.
I think about honestly, like I think about it every so often. Like there are things, like there were perks to being a child, but I feel like the pros and freedoms as an adult do outweigh some of like the liberties I was able to like get away with as a child. Like
Yeah.
I have more like autonomy and like control over what I do with my life.
Right.
As an adult. Whereas a child I don't.
What I truly miss is all the things I did have control over, which I feel like are in some cases things that like are a bit OP when you're a child, like learning things. Like anything, like learning how to play an instrument, learning a new language, learning how to, program or do anything really. That's one thing that I would just like, if there's any reason for me to be like envious, is just like, all of your injuries heal quickly. And you're not put at, and you're able to learn like just so much faster that it's just way easier. And I'm just like, man, I hope in the future we have some sort of like, I don't know, some sort of brain therapy that like makes us able to do that. Because I'm just like, I just want to go and learn a bunch of stuff, but I want it to be
Can
easier.
I get an SSD installed into my brain?
Yes.
And some extra hard drive space? Like, I would really like that.
I also think that we learn things easier as children because we don't have as much going on, right? Think about like your everyday life and then also trying to learn a new thing. It's like, yeah, cool, I have like 2 hours to learn this new thing, but as a kid, you sit there and you learn things for like 8 hours a day.
Yeah, plus you have like authoritarian figures like looming over you at all times to make sure that you do those things that they tell you.
Learn. You have to learn, child.
And now you do what they told you.
And you're getting like verified on it a lot too, like with exams. Whereas, so you have to know it for like exams.
But I feel like as a kid, you're also learning so much more than that. You're not just learning math. You're learning like how to tie your shoes and like why you shouldn't take a shower with your socks on, and how to make sure that you don't burn your food, and like all these like things that we take for granted as adults. I think, especially when like the younger you are, the more momentous each thing becomes. You're just like, oh shit, like, dude, I don't know, I can't think of anything right now except for like, I don't know, tying shoes or whatever, or like getting any skill down. I feel like
riding a bike is like the big one.
You're still in the freaking
yeah. So Siki, you said something a second ago. You're not supposed to wear your socks when you take a shower? Because I've been doing it my entire life.
Dude, I did it once, and it was so freaking weird.
You didn't write with the same person. You just like to make the same jokes. I will say, fun fact, I don't know how to ride a bike.
You don't?
No, never learned. Don't know how to ride a bike, don't know how to rollerblade, don't know how to ice skate.
Okay,
rollerblade and ice skate I definitely can't do. I haven't
I know how to do all those things.
But riding a bike I probably could do again. I just haven't ridden a bike in like 15 years.
Well, they say once you learn to ride a bike, you never forget.
I mean, which is kind of true, honestly.
Look, if I can drive a car, I feel like I could probably ride a bike still.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like I can still do that.
Oh yeah.
You'll just like hate yourself the next day because of how much your legs hurt. Like that's the one thing that I like.
It's like right in the inner thigh, like right up at the top, like because the bike seat is not built comfortably at all.
Every time you have to lift your leg to walk, you're just like, oh, ouch.
Just riding a bike. I haven't had a bike in like so long because like for some reason all the bikes I own or like I've owned in the past, like for some reason like the handle keeps breaking. I don't know if it's just me as an adult / like in my late teens just not knowing how to do a bike anymore or what, or I don't know if it's just because like the bikes I've been buying or whatever. I say buy
because
but
you
like,
keep doing these sick tricks, bro. You're not Tony Hawk.
Listen, we're not
going
off
off to that. I wish I knew
that. That was last week. That was last week's podcast. Go watch it.
Go watch last week's podcast. Stop watching this podcast. Go back to last week, then come back to this one. We'll be gone, but
not if you're watching on the VODs.
Not if you're watching on the VODs. That is true. You're not. If you're watching this on the VOD, go back to last week. Take a good look at the conspiracy theory, and then you can understand Ryan's joke.
Yeah, and then wrap up the last 5 minutes of this podcast.
yeah. And then just like, and then we'll have the rest of this podcast be done. Anyway, all right. We got a couple of things we do at the end. Let's see. Anybody in the chat want to ask a question to us? It's something we have been doing at the end, but we don't have to do it. But I don't know if anyone really has any questions. We didn't really have too many like thought-provoking things that a streamer wouldn't like think about, right? So like it's been a very streamer focused podcast.
True.
But
this is us venting for like the past
basically
hour about like
basically this podcast has no general direction. It's just us doing what we want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah. But, and I don't know if Marcus has seen the podcast before, in a live fashion.
Oh, in a live fashion?
Yeah. Do you know what's about to happen to you, Marcus? All right. How much of the podcast do you remember?
How much of the podcast do I remember?
Yeah.
I remember tuning into the one.
Don't tell. That's just gonna be a percentage.
In terms of the routine,
in terms of the whole, like everything we just talked about.
Like you mean like the topics? You mean like that we discussed today, or like how do you?
Yeah. Percentage wise, everything we've talked about, the entire podcast. Yeah, is it more than 50%?
I would say so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. Before we do
your
this,
best.
Tink asked a question.
What is your best Twitch story?
What is your best Twitch story? And I think that's a cool question, so I think we're gonna do that first.
Yeah.
It's a Twitch story.
I don't know what my best Twitch story would be, but I don't know. I don't know.
I think my best one is a really big throwback. Because I recently like realized or went and figured out how long I've been on Twitch for, and it's been about a little over 7 years since that I've been on Twitch, like officially. And back when I first was doing Twitch, I used to co-stream with my friend Bitterthread. He used to be like my co-host, and I would do Pokemon Wi-Fi battles with my chat. So I faced my viewers. I was not good at them, but I had a Star Raptor. It was like it was pretty good in like one of the metas at the time. And it was so we ended up nicknaming it Clancy because of a song that we would play on the stream all the time. It was like a little Irish jig, like called "Oh My Clancy" or whatever. And somebody made fan art the first time ever on my stream, and it's the first time I'd ever received fan art of that particular Star Raptor holding like a shillelagh, like with like a plaid background, and I still have it like in my folders.
That's so cool.
Saved because it means a lot to me. I forget exactly who made it. It's probably written on the artwork itself. I just haven't looked at it in a little while, but that means a whole lot to me still, because it means that like we made a level of an impression, and our jokes like kind of sat with somebody, and having that realization of being on the platform for 7 years and knowing that there are still some people who watch me who are now like in their early 20s or like in their late teens, like they were watching me since they grew up with me,
right.
And that like sits weird in my head, because I'm like, I don't feel like I've been doing this that long at all, and I'm not big enough to feel like I've made an impact on anybody's life, but to some degree I have. So that's something that's like is a cool Twitch story, I guess, for me.
Very cool.
That is really cool.
I kind of have that in the same vein, although my story branches from YouTube to Twitch to Discord. Right, I have one viewer who is a genuine viewer that like has followed me. Best great viewer ever. Because I was doing YouTube stuff a long time ago, 5-6 years ago, and I was doing it like everyday uploads and all this stuff for like months, and then like I was like, it's too much. I can't keep doing it. I had to stop. Right. And I had one viewer who was so upset, and I said, "It's all right, buddy. I'm going to Twitch. You can find me on Twitch." And then I went to Twitch, and I was like consistent for like 3 weeks, and then like life happened, and I just fell off the face of the earth for like the longest time. And then I started up again really consistently around November of last year. And he was there, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "I don't know if you're gonna remember me." And I was like, "Of course I remember you." And then he made like fan art of me, which was like weird to me. Like I was like, oh my god, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna. There's just onions. Someone's cutting onions here. It's fine. But no, it was just very like heartwarming. I was like, oh my god. So I guess that's my
really
best Twitch
sweet.
story. Just like one person, right, makes an impact, and you make an impact on people, which is like a weird side effect of Twitch stories, I guess, or just like it's a weird side effect of doing this.
It's true.
If you don't have a story, that's fine.
I don't really have one, like, off the top of my head. I mean, I have like a lot of like little moments that are funny, or just like things that are just like, like times that, were amusing in a game. But I feel like they're all very, I can't like pick a favorite. It's just kind of difficult. My mind can't really think of one right now.
No, it's totally fine. It is a cusp of a moment story type thing. Marcus, you got anything?
I can't think of any off the top of my head. I think the most that like has happened to me in terms of like best Twitch moments. I remember the day that my mom like actually like popped into the chat and actually subscribed to me. I'm like, oh my god. It's like a little thing, but like I was like, yeah, I can now say that my mom has subscribed to me on Twitch.
It's a big enough
so
thing.
cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool moment.
That's really
your
nice.
Family
I like that.
gives us
That's
support.
a good level of support. Yeah.
Other than that,
Gotta
like,
get my dad to make a Twitch account because I feel like he would subscribe to my channel, which would be pretty tight.
My mom has a Patreon account to watch a person to support somebody on YouTube, but doesn't understand what I do on Twitch, which is hilarious to me. Which is just so funny to me. I'm like, how do you not? You have a Patreon account to subscribe to this person's additional content on YouTube, but you don't understand how Twitch works. It's the same idea, just live.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, well, he's going live and I gotta watch him. It's like, it's the exact same idea.
That's funny.
Do like a GoFundMe or something.
Yeah, I don't know. GoFundMe.
Hey mom, I have a GoFundMe now for my Twitch account. Oh, okay.
All right, Marcus. What we'd like to do at the end of every podcast is a 1-minute review of the entire podcast. And typically,
recap.
It's a recap, yeah. So I'm gonna start a timer. I'm gonna tell you to go, and you're gonna have a minute to recap the entire podcast. Does that make sense to you?
Sure.
All right. Additionally, we're going to recap it a couple of times, and each time we're going to decrease the amount of time you get to recap. Yeah. Yep. All right, here's a minute.
All right.
Your time starts.
As much as you can remember.
Yeah, and don't stop talking until the minute is up. Just stream of thought. I'll let you know when the minute's up. I'll give you towns in between.
All right.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Okay, so we started talking about how Twitch is a poopy butthole and how they screw up the viewer counts. And then after that, we talked about how trolls are nasty and mean. And
50 seconds.
For some reason, we started talking about our childhoods. And we got into the Q&A section where we started going off about fan arts and how moms are subscribed to us on YouTube and Twitch. And I think that's it.
30 seconds.
Go into detail.
Keep talking.
Okay. Oh, man, detail. All right.
25 seconds.
Say it all really slowly.
Oh man, this is hard. So anyway, about the Twitch viewer counts.
15 seconds.
Man, okay, viewer counts. The algorithms changed. Trolls, they're like many flavors. They're bots.
All right, your time is up.
Yeah.
You went a little fast there at the beginning. Just pace it out.
It's a common problem.
It is a hugely common problem.
I think we need to start explaining, hey, in as much detail as possible, go into.
Yeah, you have a whole minute. You'll realize how long a minute is after this experiment.
Yeah, a minute's a long time.
Well, I mean, like, how did I do?
Yeah,
I don't know. Let's find out. 30 seconds. Ready?
30 seconds. Let's go.
And Marcus, start.
Wait, I'm doing the recap again?
Yeah, doing the recap again in 30 seconds. Here, I'll restart it for you. I'll
restart it for you.
Retry.
Okay.
Yeah, here you go.
All right. You're going to do the recap now in 30 seconds. You ready?
Okay, so we talked about the viewer count, and basically the algorithm is like completely out of whack now, where the viewer count is going by like
20
what
seconds.
kind of active tabs that you have, as opposed to like what tabs are like open but not active.
15 seconds.
And the trolls that we talked about, those were in the variety of like people just being asshats, people that are bots,
5 seconds.
people that hit on
3,
e-girls.
2, 1. All right. You ready for another recap? You're going to do it now in 15 seconds. No, 10 seconds? What was it, 10 seconds or 15?
10 seconds.
10, yeah.
10
10
seconds.
seconds and then 2 seconds.
Yeah, all right. 10 seconds. Are you ready, Marcus? Recap the entire podcast. I want to hear
Okay.
every single thing that we talked about. Go. 5 seconds. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second.
Like, comment, subscribe to One Upstage.
We're not even done. We're not even done. We gotta do a 2 second
2 seconds.
review. You ready, Marcus?
Okay.
Right.
All right. Go.
Trolls of viewer count.
Done. That's it. All right, everybody.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Great
so
job,
much
Marcus.
for being here. I'm LQ Does. That's Researcher Ryan. That's King of Blades. That's Sneaky Zombie. You can find us in our Discord, link below. And we are on Twitch all the time. We're constantly making content. Some of us are making content on both places, YouTube and Twitch. We're all over the place. But you guys
Go watch
can
It
find
Take
us.
Two on YouTube. It's a good series.
It is a good series. That's not us just saying that because we're a part of it. I mean, it kind of is. Anyway, thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. And we hope to see you next Sunday here for whatever we talk about next. Well, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.